No, human person. I stream on Wednesdays. This isn't really the only day when I have a free time in an empty house. How's it going, Simulation Gaming? Good to see you. So yes, the impetus of today's build is that we need to get scientific equipment out to the moon to do science, and we need to be able to make it multi-biome capable. We had that rover, but it really just lacked the range to get to anything but one other biome, which we already brought it to, and thus collected all the science. So I thought we'd make like a little short hop lunar lander thing for collecting more science from more biomes and giving that moon base that we've spent so much time on more of a purpose and more science to farm. So first, I want to see how much all the sciencey bits weigh. What's the tonnage on this? 0.14? Oh, it's Thursday from people from the other side of the big water. Ah, but it is Thursday, human person said. Okay, my mistake. It's Wednesday for me. It's, Wednesday afternoon, evening. That's 6 p.m. here. So, man, you must be some time zones away. Yeah, I forgot to account for that, didn't I? Derp, derp. Sorry, time zones escape me a lot of the time. Alright, so, yes, right now I just need to see how much all of our sciencey bits weigh so we can decide on how to go about doing this. So, crap, what did I add? I added those two, right? Shift key. Yeah, that's yellow. I don't think we need much of that. Yeah, we need the seismometer. It's technically Thursday here in the UK. Yeah. Time zones. How do those work? That's only for atmospheric planets. That we can take. That we don't need. This we need. Don't know, we want to take the over-under on how much any of this stuff is going to weigh. We could bring the solar particle collector, but I don't think it's worth it. This I've never gotten to work even once. And that's orbit only, right? So is this everything? More or less. We could bring a hammer, although this bit is fairly hit or miss, and this does give us a good opportunity to dump a bunch of these things on the moon. How's it going, Quiet Elite? Good to see you. Simulation Gaming, we are building a doohickey to jump around the moon to different biomes, collect all the science, and then return to the moon lab, Rosalina Memorial Station, so that science can be processed. I do intend for it to be crewed, because surface sample and EVA report is a huge moneymaker, and by money I mean science. It's just how crude do we want to go? I mean, where's the single Kerbal pod here? The Mark 1? Yeah. We do something like that. We're at like, what, 0.4, now we're at 0.9? You made a Twitch account just for this stream? Dude, thank you. That's pretty awesome. I'll say, we could do this. It has some life support, not a whole lot. We'd probably have to put an external tank on there. Or we could do our combat chair, which is a terrible idea and probably what we're going to go with. Yes, are you talking about these external seats? They totally work. Human person, you have a rocket that can take 240 tons to low Earth orbit for 94,000? Yeah, you might have to post that to the Discord. I'd be very interested to take a look at it, but we need to know versions and whatnot. So, quick poll. Do we do a chair with an external life tank, or do we do a pod proper? So we're going to bring this down to the moon uncrewed, because there's no point in bringing an extra Kerbal for no specific reason, or do we want to put an actual command pod on here? Vote now. Chair, pod. Dang it, one of each, come on. That's 2 for chair, 1 for pod. Simulation Gaming says hardcore, which I assume means chair. Do we want to make a lawn chair lander? Or do we want to be somewhat legit about this whole thing? It is partially reusable, human person. Stage recovery for the boosters. Chair for Kerbal punishment. Okay. I don't know how many people we have here, but I think we're going with the chair. So what do we have here? 0.492 tons. So yeah, we'll round up half a ton. That's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, quite honestly. Oh, human person, I am intrigued. You definitely need to either post the craft file so that we can take a look at it, or maybe post a video to YouTube. I'm very curious to see how you managed all this on 94,000 funds. Although I guess it's are you going to submit it to Tyler Riez's EDB space program? If you are, I can watch it in action there, and you don't have to do really anything else. Okay, I need to get to work. How to balance things and still make it look acceptable is a challenge. Alright, for the time being, we're going to strip things down and start fresh so that I can think through this clutter. More clutter, hard to solve. I'm never very good at cluttery things. Honestly, I could have just done this because I don't think we're going to use this core. What are we capable up to here? 5 tons? Apollo emergency chair lunar ascent thing. Lunar escape system. I mean, they planned a lot of things that they didn't use because they were actually terrible ideas, but I know the concept you're talking about and it looked really cool. You know, say EDB isn't launching very heavy cargoes, but for that kind of expenditure, I think you could convince him to use it on anything, especially with a high tonnage to orbit. You could be like, oh hey, I have this mission to put something in orbit of Pluto. How about we do that? And you could probably get him to agree. What's our power consumption? 150 watt. And this is 120 watt and gives us double the tonnage. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Oh boy, really? I'm dumb. Goodbye. Balance board to steer it? Yeah, I guess I never looked into how they were able to control that ridiculous rocket motorcycle thing for 2. But it was a really interesting concept. Alright. Hey, pigeon on a chair. Cheered for 127. Dude, thank you. That is awesome. Oh man, I would absolutely probably die on the moon if my other option was to try to fly that launch escape or lunar escape thing to orbit. There isn't a real possibility of me making it on that thing. I would die. Alright, so we are going to need a life support tank. That is probably absolutely massive. But we'll see what kind of sustainability that gets us for a single Kerbal. This is temporary, don't you worry. We just need to see our life support figures here. 12 days, that should be more well than enough. Alright, so man, trying to think through this kind of hurts my head a little bit, but we should get the science package on there and try to balance that. And then all the fuel will have to be basically equal on all sides so that we can keep balance for the whole flight. What if we put the chair? We're going to need a chair and a ladder. That's going to screw things up quite a bit. Science, that's what I wanted. Does anybody know if a scientist can reset the film canister? Because otherwise we only get 5 pictures. Eight F1 engines and 5 RS-25s. And it still only costs 90,000? I think the Venus Station project is pretty much ready to go. I made very little changes from the last time we looked at it. I just added the thing to make Kerbals where they can move through stuff. What's that mod called? Connected living space. There's the little paperclip down there. I added the part mod to the mod to the connected living space file so that Kerbals could move through all the necessary parts. And packed it up and got it to fit all on the top of a DN6 for a single launch to Venus. I think it's ready to go. We're just waiting on a window, but I have one other mission I want to plan to go out during a Venus window, so it might wait. And plus, we have a lot going on at the moon and a lot going on at Mars, so there's that and stuff. Okay, so where's that? How much do you weigh? 0.01 ton. Really? 0.01? That is tiny. You're only 0.005 more. I think the magnetometer might be our heaviest. Nope, 0.015. So we'll balance you out. Can I get away with that? Probably not. We should get you up top. And I should switch our connection thing to, what is it, absolute. Titan glider, packed up, ready to go, waiting on a Saturn window. We made the decision to do with propulsive capture around Titan. That suddenly made the entire mission ready. It's like, oh, we'll get to our maximum available tonnage on just a really large capture stage, and then we're ready. Just our time progression in the career series is moving very slowly since we have a lot going on. So it seems like we're not getting to a whole bunch yet, but that's just because I don't know, I guess since we did the Mars landing, we've only progressed about a month or so. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We have 4, both yellows, good. 5 and 6, and what are these apiece? Yeah, 001. So it's like 0.06 across that side. 0.015, and you need to have contact with the ground, so good and low. And what was the other thing? The ablative of neutrons? Oh man, you are... Okay, you know what? Shift you to this side. Any SSTO progress since the last stream? Yes, but I don't know how meaningful a progress that is. Why must I blame Mars for everything? Because it takes so long. We're spending a lot of time being stuck there. Wookie, how's it going? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I guess I am playing in real time. 0.025. Can we justify that? Probably shift it to this side. What was I going to balance that out? Oh, the ablative of whatever's neutrinos. And what else we got? We got 0.25 to balance it out. Is that our whole loadout, really? Yeah, pretty much. Oh no, wait, we have the other goo, which is also tiny and minuscule, and I lost it. There it is. That's a very, very good question, Wookie. Alright, and how's our center of mass looking? Sure. Does that look off to this side to anybody else? A little bit. Interesting. No, I don't want to be in absolute mode. Yeah, we're off by just a tiny, tiny bit. No, we're definitely going to give it a pass with RCS build aid. That is for certain. Your grandchildren can witness the return of the Eunice Neptune flyby probe. Are you talking about the Kentucky Kev that did the first flyby of Neptune? He'll be back in 14 years. Somewhere around there, anyway. So, I mean, you know, he'll be around. Manned mission to outer planets? Loose plans. Nothing that I've put to paper or any kind of solidified design, but I am thinking about it. I would really, really like to do one. Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm trying to, but you know, like if I tilt the camera just right, like that looks misaligned. That looks pretty good. So basically what I'm going to do is going to put a... How would I manage the life support? Are you talking on this science hopper, or are you talking about for the crewed missions to outer planets? Because I don't know. End goal is a manned Europa mission. My landing there and die. Probably the same way we did the Mars mission, just by putting mass reserves of life support around wherever we're going. And that'll help reduce our initial launch burden of the crew by a little bit, anyway. And so we'll see how well it goes. But yeah, it's gonna... I don't know. The crew out at Harmonia has something like 11 years of life support just on station right now, because that last resupply pod was ridiculous. So I think we can actually manage the life support problem. It's just managing the tonnage to orbit problem. Whoa, that was the wrong button to click. And we need to make you service module. And we need an engine. Asterisk. Just one. Imagine eating 11-year-old freeze-dried brisket. Ugh. Deep freeze the mod? Or, I mean, I guess a deep freeze like the refrigerator. I like the mod, it just wasn't compatible when I built this save file, and I'm trying like the plague to avoid adding other things to this save file as much as humanly possible, because it's already getting really unstable. Aerozine. Think it would taste like one-day-old free-dried biscuit? That's, that might be a fair assessment, honestly. Alright, where is RCS build aid? Here we go. Yes, and we do have a torque. Of course we do. Let's... Attitude engines gives us this. That is the weirdest direction to have a spin. That is very interesting. Our imbalance is 1.19. The Invisible Man is human person. I hate to out you like that, bro. Ah, no, I do not want 4 of you. Oh no, if we're gonna... we're listing that way. Yeah, that means there's more weight on this side. Now, but it looks like there would be less. So should I be moving things this way more? Help me out here, fellas. Oh, well. At least we know the... Oh, hold on a second. We do that in .006. Which way is the deflection? Now it's that way. Oh, weight balance. You're killing me here. Yeah, do that. Yeah, do that. That's your advice? Okay. That is excellent advice. I do appreciate that. Excellent, excellent words of advice. That shifts it from that way to that way. That means our weight discrepancy is over here. So I'm just gonna shift a bunch of everythings around and see what happens. Really, I don't think we should need quite that much to offset that much weight, or the weight of that thing entirely. But I really hate this mod. Alright, now let's go back and rethink about this. .025. You are .015. So that means we need another .01 to compensate for that. What way is .01? You did, didn't you? Yeah, .01. I forgot. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let's move things off to the side here. Just for a second. Let's set you off to the side for a second here too. What was I looking at? No, can't use the exokerbal drill. Is that what I looked at? Could shift the whole film return camera thing. Oh, that's probably a good idea. Let me see if I can get this thing to balance. If not, yeah, that's going to be our resort. You are also .10. Shift you down a bit and micro goo container pod and get rid of you for the time being. Oh, the antenna. Why do we still have a discrepancy? It's really small though. Do you think that's within tolerance of stuff? Okay. Yeah, still .062. .017. How much does the magnetometer come in at? .015, and that should be offset by this .015. We only need the one. We can get rid of you. We can get rid of you. And I'm missing an instrument. There you are, hiding. So we'll just try to balance these out and see if we can't strike some kind of balance here. Oh, come on. That was obviously what I wanted to do. That's 0.4. We should be able to compensate for that, right? Down to .026. Okay. That's all 1100 meters per second. Now I still need stupid antenna. You know what? We'll just do 2 of them for reasons. And what's our total tonnage currently? Not even a ton. Oh, this is going quite well, actually. So now we just need to figure out how to land it and how to put a Kerbal on it, and we're good to go. I feel very safe that we can tuck this into the core, and we can tuck this into the tank. Probably a bit. No, I want to bring that down, actually. There we go. No, not you. Really? Okay. 1, 2. No. Wow. That's exactly what I want to happen. Not really? Fine. Yeah, I think we're totally going to go with an external seat. I just want to get the orientation on this correct because I'm going to put some tanks on here. Oh, the obliterative, whatever these things. Okay. Yeah. Of which I only need one. Is there a place I can place this where it makes the circle smaller? Okay. That's 016. I think that's well within tolerance. And yes, we are putting landing gear on this. I have a few other things to build out first. Cone, fillet cylinders. Balloon. There we go. No, I did click on the right one. It just looked wrong. Landing gears are an unnecessary luxury. Says whom, I wonder. 3596 current delta V. It's a little lower than I would like, but we still have a bunch of things to add to it. We're probably going to have to quad up on our thrusters a bunch. And I wonder which landing gears will be appropriate for this thing. Yeah, that looks great. I do not understand how this game... Oh, it orients it against the angle of the landing gear. That is... really dumb. Really dumb. Spherical tanks to justify the 98% utilization. Interesting. Yeah, we might have to. Alright, I need to switch this to absolute. Then do this rotation so we can click, 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 click. Oh, and of course they're offset by something that is not a... Kerbal Space Program, you are absolutely killing me sometimes. There we go. Of course it's vodka powered. So, one of the things about RSS that always irritated me is that you couldn't get science from Earth biomes at all. So there's really no point to a polar research or an underwater research lab because you're not going to get any science from it whatsoever, which I always thought was extraordinarily dumb. Just, it makes so little sense to me that that would be a thing. I don't like the thrusters firing into the tanks like that. It does not feel legit. Center of mass is here, but when they're empty, it's going to be right around where these guys are. We're probably going to have to do a bunch of different ports. Shackleton crater, though. Or put them on extenders. I don't think that hammer is going to hit anything from up there. Can we shift you down? Not in absolute mode, good. Because here-ish would be... I mean, that might hit, right? Too legit to quit. Oh, we can't run test from here? That's real dumb, KSP. That is actually really dumb. And I need to put the other things on here before I forget about them. So I've never gotten these things to work ever once ever, and I would really like to see them work. Reposition the tank so they're 45-degree offset from the RCS. Yeah, dang it, they're attached to this, so I can't even rotate this, but doing that would put them in our sciencey equipment, although I guess we could shift this one down too. Come on, down you go, buddy. Back to absolute. One click. Oh, that's horrible. Back to where you were. Come on. Come on. There we go. So yeah, we'll just make room and then shift them around. No, I only want one of you still. No! Yes. That does look a bit off axis, but okay. Damn it, Wookie. No. You know what? Maybe you can go here and we'll just ignore the clipping a bit. I don't want to fire a thruster into a fuel tank. Fires thruster directly into sciencey equipment. Even better. Well, two of them are okay. That's good enough, right? Yeah, we're probably going to need some other accessory-like thrusters. And dang it, I was going to put a girder here with the chair on it so that we could fly this thing accordingly. And now that's facing into a thruster. My target delta V for this thing is about 4,000. Figuring to get to almost any biome, we need about 1,000 up, which means you need 1,000 down, give or take. And then to get back, you're going to need double that, which is 4,000. So we're a little shy, but we've got some room to maximize these tanks, and there's the central main tank, which is actually not even sized up appropriately. Which we should totally do that first. Diameter, 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 diameter. There it is. Side, length. Yeah, that's about right. We'll tuck the engine in just a little bit. 3442. Dang it. If I had a damped spring lithobraking system, I could just... Damn it, Wookie. Stop it with your nonsense. Nonsense, I say. Yeah, that's about as low as we can get that engine bell. Alright, where to tuck our poor pilot friend? I'll show you my initial idea, which is obviously terrible, but we'll get to that. because I like placing people in precariously iffy situations close to engines, and this does save us having to have a ladder. That was my initial plan. Also, not too dissimilar from the Mars airbag bouncy castle. Could the disposal unit be used as a science rover? In theory, yes. We'd still need to get the equipment out to the moon, but the problem I was facing is that I would really like to get surface samples and crew reports from other biomes, and the life support needed to drive someone there is a lot more than to just fly them there. So we'd actually have to land a larger life support tank, and I'd have to leave the system running while I did other things for many hours while it drove there, and there's always the possibility that it would randomly flip and break. And unfortunately, there's not an engineer experienced enough to fix those broken wheels. You have to be level 3 to fix wheels, which means you have to at least have gone to Mars before you can fix a wheel. Which seems extraordinarily dumb on so many levels. Alright, temporary name, we'll think of something better. Let's action group stuff and then take it outside for a test run. Action group 10. Yeah, radio in B. Alright. So this will only take like 10 minutes to queue all this up. Logmag. Serve. Take pictures. Yeah, all the things. Well, they're in a spacesuit. It'll be okay, right? I mean, yes, all of these things, but can you tell me factually if it's any better than the lunar escape system, where they were just kind of slightly in front of it? But only, I mean, I guess in front of it's better than next to it. In theory, if the reaction goes to completion, only some nitrogen, water, and CO2. Still a bit hot, just a bit. But, you know, it's all down here. I mean, if it's leaving, they should be above the arc. It might get a little warm, but, you know, it's cold on the moon, so that's okay. And that seat is... Is that how? Yeah, that is way off axis, yo. Alright. Save. Simulate. No, we don't even need 10 minutes. About 5? Yeah, $1,000 is the cheapest simulation I have run in a very long time. Bounce, bounce. Okay, let's toggle hammer. Okay, now it's on. Hammer test. Seismic hammer can't impact the surface from here. Tyler Edwards, thanks for the subscription, man. That is awesome. Thank you. We do not have the thrust to weight ratio to leave the ground here, but we should verify our... Oh, well, there's that. Collect seismic data. Can't impact hammer the surface from here. Dang it. Collect laser data? Okay, that gives us something. So that can hit the ground, but that one can't. Engine does fire, good. Pressure eyes tank is good. Yes, we should verify our ability to litter the environment. Absolutely. And yes, because they won't see the ground coming up to meet them at what is undoubtedly going to be a very high speed. Oh hey look, this is working again. Let's try lightening our load a little bit here. I just want to get... I guess a quality seismic hammer test should not take place on a surface where the landing gear just disappears right through it. Oh boy. That's a whole lot of a very irritating noise. I'm very sorry. Oh, well, the engine's not throttleable, so I guess you don't get anything except for the fire the engine at the last... Well, I don't know. You've seen me land on the moon. It's a lot of turn the engine on, turn the engine off, turn the engine on, turn the engine off. So hopefully they'll come down at a reasonable speed. Although it doesn't look like there's much head support on that chair, really. Their head kind of sticks up past it. I can't get a good view. Yeah, oh well. Their head kind of sticks out past it, so there might be a little whiplash going on, but they knew what they signed up for. And we're up to 0.3. That did nothing. Oh well. Fireworks show descent profile. Yeah, it's cozy until he realizes it's still too fast. That exactly. Yes, that is it. That's an astute observation. They are, in fact, inside the crumple zone. But, you know, they're not being torched by thrusters. We'll see how we can... Kerbals are also shock absorbers. They do have very shock absorbent heads. If you can bounce them on their head, they'll survive, as Valentina proved to us about 1 billion episodes ago doing test flights. She had to do a bailout at like Mach 2, and then she just bounced and was fine. Oh, that was so long ago. We're totally going to run out of fuel before we get into a positive TWR here, so... yeah. Revert to editor. Except the RCS thrusters, which are pointed at the legs. I thought I offset them 45 to, pointed at their legs, as in the Kerbals. Yes. Correct, Wookie. That was the West Coast winged flight testing. So, should we reposition the chairs? Is doing so into a safe location, air quotes around safe, would necessitate a ladder to access it. Which I'm alright with, but well, already below where I wanted to be for Delta V. And that does limit our range, although as we get rid of these things, I don't know, that's pretty marginal, to say the least. That doesn't make me feel better about life either. I actually wonder if I should switch those to those angled quads. Of course, that would mean that the thruster is firing directly at their face. It's literally impossible to make this thing safe. Yeah. Oh man, those are huge. And oh, they're only angled on the sides, not the top and bottom, so that really doesn't buy me any more advantage than I already had. Ew. No. Alright. That's fine. We'll go with these. We're going to need a lot of authority, so that gimbal doesn't do a whole lot, and I mess up a lot. So, you know, there's a thing. Yes, science is dangerous. I mean, we could do something like this. I mean, not exactly this, but something similar to this. Oh boy. And that would be safer. They're well out of the blast range. They're further away from the heat. They might clip into a landing leg. It's as safe as a 0.5 millimeter wall thickness Tudican. Oh, they don't even have that 0.5 millimeter of thickness. It's a suit in the void of space that is now also imbalanced by 0.2. I mean, it won't be hard to balance out. We'll add something or others onto that side. I don't know. Is this better or worse than the previous iteration? Suppose we could just add another chair opposite, although we really don't need to take 2 Kerbals on this. Rest in peace, all your Kerbals. Wookie, you just now realized that this is an avionics thing and not a lander can. I can't even begin to help you anymore. That's, sorry, not sorry. Alright, so let's, which side is that on? That's on that side, so let's do this. That brings us back, and... Alright. Yeah, and those don't interfere with anything. I think I'm a little happier with this. $36. Still not quite what I wanted it to be. Can we increase the diameter here? 3951. So the plan for resetting the experiments is to use a KIS port to attach it to the station, so that then the scientists can just reset it from inside the lab. So I'm hoping that will work. And they've got enough spare docking ports and whatnot to do that on their own. Solar panels. Oh, that was good catch, chat. I will just judge you harshly from here. These are 270 watt. We don't really need them to be retractable again. It's 173, 121. The core takes 120. Plus, we're going to have to recharge the spacesuit. What are these? 1.69 kilowatts. Or 20 grand unlock? No. 2 grand unlock. It is deployable. And 179 watts. It's only 2 grand. I'm just curious because I don't remember seeing these. Oh wow, really? This is a thing? You said deployable. That doesn't... Yeah, there's no right-click menu. Well, that's $2,000 we're not getting back. Which is an RGG way. .037-ish. We're going to need at least 2 solar panels to balance it out. Why solar panels when you could put a bike crank hooked on an alternator on the seats? Kerbal hasn't made the part for bike crank alternators yet. They really should. Because, yeah, you need to stay fit in space. They have to work out a lot. Why is that not hooked to something? 0075. That's .173. So that's more than satisfactory. I think we'll need at least 2 of them. Put them on. No, how about just 2 and not 4? Yeah, that should be fine. We don't need them to retract. It's not going atmospheric. We need to compensate for the 120 watts consumed by the core. Oh, but what about at nighttime? You don't have much battery, do you? 1,300. Dang it. Now I need... Now, you know what? The mission shouldn't take even a day, really. It's fly out, collect, fly back. And that's it. And if we only leave during the daytime, we should be fine, right? Not going to worry about it. That is entirely overthinking the issue. And also, I wonder with... Yeah, with that being further away from the engine bell, we don't even need this strut piece, do we? Good day, sir. Good day, sir. We can just put the chair right here. Maybe even here. Set it just a bit so it looks all wonky, and now that looks like I didn't do this intentionally. Can you imagine what the Kerbal risk assessment team would say about this thing? I can only imagine it's actually a lot better than some of the other ridiculousness we've put out there before. I can only imagine, anyway. Oh, why are you facing the wrong way, friend? We don't need a downward-facing chair. Come on. There we go. Oh, the other one is actually... Oops. Good catch, chat. Fly out, break the engine on landing, can't fly back, Kerbals die. Accurate. Disturbingly so. And they're totally not even. Because of course they're not. Why would things be easy when they can just be not easy? Those should probably not be in the bottom action group. I will have to toggle them one by one. How much do they weigh? Like, how much is that going to throw off my game? 0075. So we should be fine. Should be. So close to 4 kilometers. So very close. Let's... Length. There we go. 4,005. Bingo. On budget. And what's our total tonnage here? 5 tons. That's not bad. Start retracting. Save. And maybe we'll go against the grain and ask for a name for this thing. It's 2 a.m. where you are. My goodness. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. Keep using the girders, but put the Kerbal seats directly under the tanks. Like down here? Like a girder straight down from this, and so they're looking at the protectiveness of a fuel tank? Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Yeah, let's give that a try very quickly. We'll set these here for right now. I could probably use smaller girders in that case too. We don't have as much distance to cover. Let's just remove you two for the time being. Call it the Widowmaker. Alright, plenty of clearance it looks like, because we're basically going to keep the gear extended the whole time. God, is that too close to the engine bell, though? Oh, so yeah, the landing gear is going to be out the whole time a Kerbal is on it. So we don't need to factor in what it looks like without the Kerbal, or with the landing gear retracted. Does that look safer? Smash! Oh, right in the face. So I would hope they are, because everything on the moon has used Aerosine and N2O. Yeah, I guess if the engine runs a little bit rich, safer than guaranteed death, yes. I'm alright with this. It does save us some weight, too. Although we do need to put another one on to balance it out. Oh, awesome. Thank you, human person. Or should maybe I offset the seat to the landing leg? Like so. Then tuck it in and up, because I think we could actually go... Oh, come on. Let's go up and in. And then they can actually see. And even further from the engine bell. Thermal shielding is probably easier than dealing with a face full of hyperconics. You don't approve of my Road Rebel style lunar science gathering machine? Because I think I'm okay with this. I mean, I knew what they signed up for. We know this looks absolutely atrocious, but you should see the designs that we wrote off right away. They were much less safe. This one has a cup holder. Oh, that's right, Kerbals do add mass to the seat. Yeah, we can't test run with a Kerbal. Dang it. 93 kilograms. Alright then. Let's see how much we have to lose by adding 93 kilograms. Oh, I'm already at like 2 kilograms. Let's add a Kerbal's worth of lead. 1 ton. Yeah. There's 70, 80, come on. 594 gives us a .141 oscillation. Shouldn't eat so much snacks. I agree. If they weren't snacking so hard, we wouldn't have to deal with this problem. And, dang it. I put the solar panels there. Well, that's when I had the seats on the other side, so I need... The best way to deal with an offset of that nature is going to be thrusters placed up high. To offset it, because I really do not want to take more than one Kerbal along on this death machine. I mean lander. How much thruster power can we get out of these? That's 0.535, so that's not even enough to offset that, really. Okay, bigger thrusters it is. You get more delta V as time passes since Snack's mass decreases. This is true. Really? That's 0.267, which, yeah, that will offset our torque. That's all we really needed to do. I'll say, who's the test pilot currently on the moon? Oh, I've already forgotten. Oh man, is it Val? It's Val, isn't it? Uh-oh. Val will be the first one to test this thing. Alright. Well, fellas, I really hate to cut it all short, but I actually have to get going. Today is actually Lady Crash's birthday, and she may or may not be low-key watching this stream. So if y'all wanted to tell Lady Crash happy birthday, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure she would too. But I have to go get ready to take her out to dinner and stuff. So that's a thing. But so unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this stream short, but I think we'll do some, I don't know, we might not actually need to do more testing with this thing, because it's kind of ready to go. Also kind of ugly, but perfectly acceptably ugly. You guys are awesome. Thank you. She's texted me saying, why did I do that? So awesome. But yes, Lady Crash is my wife. But I have to go get ready to take her out to dinner. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Frankie the dog appreciates it too. I will see all of you next week. Hopefully I'll be on time and on YouTube. So thank you for hanging out, everybody. I really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.